Hi everyone, I'm Tracy and welcome to my channel. So I'm going to be doing an updated video of something I did about a year ago, and that's going over luxury makeup products that are very hyped or popular here on YouTube. So yeah, let's just get started. I have 6 products here. Oh, and these are all complexion products, so foundation, concealer, powder, and bronzer. So those are the only products I'm going to be going over. Okay, so let me start out with one. This is my newest product of the ones I'm going to talk about, and to be honest, I didn't watch any reviews about this product, and I kind of bought it because I was on Selfridges and the price went down pretty low. So I picked up the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. Now I've only used this a few times and I have b-roll of me applying it. So I put this one on this side, and then another product that I feel like this product is hyped a little bit more, and that's the Dior Backstage Concealer. I put that on this side. And so do I recommend the Charlotte Tilbury? I'm going to say no, because first of all, it settles into lines. So I guess no if you have mature skin, because it settles and it does, I feel like it makes my texture look a little bit more obvious. Also, this it's supposed to be a fuller coverage, medium buildable coverage, but it's not enough coverage for me, especially for like the under eyes. And I much rather use the Dior Backstage Concealer. So I have the Charlotte Tilbury in number 5 medium, which is actually pretty light for a medium shade. And then I have the Dior Backstage in 2N, which is my standard concealer shade for Dior. And I highly recommend this one over this one. Also, I don't favor a luminous concealer because of where I put it. I think I prefer a natural or a slightly more matte concealer. But if maybe you don't have as many fine lines and you're not looking for a lot of coverage, you'll probably like this. It's just for my needs. I'm not really loving the Charlotte Tilbury, the new concealer. Okay, and I kind of talked about the Dior concealer. This one I really like. I would say it's on par with the Armani Power Fabric Concealer, which is one of my longer favorites. And I think these are pretty similar as far as coverage and texture. This Dior might be a little bit thicker, and also the applicator is different, which I kind of like. It's like a paintbrush, but I just thought it was different. But I think either one of these are going to be great. The Power Fabric is going to be a thinner consistency, and yeah, I think coverage wise these are about the same, and I really like these for under the eyes and for hiding like darkness on the skin. Okay, and then I'm going to do the powder at the end. And this is another one I've been hearing a lot about. It's been out for a little while, but I've been hearing so many people rave about this, and it is a good foundation. That is the Nars Light-Reflecting foundation. I have this in Santa Fe, which is my my standard Nars foundation shade. And so this is really good if you're not looking for a ton of coverage. If you want like light to medium buildable coverage, or if you like a very thin consistency. And I did a whole video on this comparing it to the Luminous Silk, and I do prefer the Luminous Silk over this one, and mainly because I need a little bit more coverage and I prefer a thicker formula. I feel like a thicker formula kind of smooths out uneven texture a little bit more, and so that's why I don't like love this one. But I've been mixing it with the Armani Power Fabric foundation because that one is really thick, and I'm getting a really good result with the mixing of those two. But I very rarely wear this on its own. And I have this one on this side, and I have my longtime favorite, the Nars Longwear on this side, and I still prefer this one over the other one. This one has better coverage. The consistency is, I think, easier to work with, and I like the finish of this one more. The other one is more luminous, but this one is not matte. It's just right. Like, this is my ideal foundation, and it's the one I compare everything else to, and I still think this one beats the light reflecting foundation. So that one I'm not gonna like recommend, but if you have younger skin and you're looking for a lighter coverage, then that one is a really good one. For my particular needs, I'm not loving that one. I don't think I will repurchase that one, but it's not bad. It's just not the best for me. Okay, and then, okay, I'll go over the powders. And so this one is definitely, I feel, really hyped here on YouTube, especially with the luxury makeup channels, and that's a Chantecaille Blur powder. Now, I don't have a lot of Chantecaille, mainly because I feel like their products are very overpriced, and I wouldn't mind that if the packaging was more luxurious, and these simply are not. These feel like borderline, like drugstore, maybe prestige brand, but for the price, yeah, I just feel like Chantecaille can step up their packaging. And so because of that, I'm not going to say that I highly recommend this one. It's that Baked Gelée formula, and I do use it. I just, for the cost, I don't think it's the best. I'm going to put a little bit on. It's really hot today, so I'm a little sticky, but let me just show you guys. I do feel like it makes a difference. It's a subtle difference, and I'll try it on this side. And it does blur, but I don't think it's an effect that you can't get with a less expensive product. Like, if you have an Hourglass product, I don't think this one is any better or worse. I feel like with an Hourglass product is a little less expensive, and it's presented better, and I think I prefer the Hourglass finishing powders. There's more variety with that too. This one only comes in 2 shades, and there is a subtle difference, just considering, you know, that it's Chantecaille. I do feel like it should do a little bit more, but you know, if price is not a concern, I think it's a fine powder. It's just not like, didn't like blow my socks off or anything. So that is the Chantecaille Blur powder in light medium. And then this is another one. It's not as popular now, but there was a while where I heard a lot of channels talking about the By Terry Hydra powder, and one of my favorite channels, Nikki LaRose, she loves this powder, and she says that if you have dry skin and you're not looking to like put a lot of powder on, this is the way to go. And I agree. This is probably my current favorite powder, and it's been that way since I got it, I think maybe 6 months ago. And this is a pricey product. It did go on sale on Selfridges for like 30 something, and so I snatched it up. I have the shade 200 Natural, and this powder is just, it's so finely milled. It does not make your skin look dry. It does not bring out texture. And I feel like you can kind of generously put it on, and your skin doesn't look powdery. So I'm very, you know, concerned about my skin looking drier than it is. But this does not make your skin look drier. It's really good for setting under the eyes or anywhere that you want to set concealer or foundation. And I feel like this does more than other powders. I feel like it's very blurring as well, and so you're getting kind of like 2 in 1. You're getting a powder to set and you're getting that blur effect. So I'm really enjoying this by Terry powder. I was hoping it was talc free, but it's not. But I really am impressed with this. This is made in France, and it comes in a translucent formula, which if it goes on sale, I'll probably get that one as well. But I highly recommend this one, and it comes in a lot of different shades. There's like an apricot one that has a little bit of a peachy shift to it, and I'm sure that one is great, and I highly recommend this. You get a lot of product too, so if you're someone that uses a lot of powder, this will last you a long time. I personally don't use a lot of powder. I almost never go through a powder, but we'll see with that one. I might go through that one. Okay, and then now we're going to talk about bronzers. And when I put this list together, I was really wanting to share the Dior Forever powder, and I'm a huge fan of Dior powder products, from their eyeshadows and their highlighters. I don't think I have a blush, but this bronzer, and I have the shade 5 Warm Bronze, which is supposed to be a little bit more of a warmer shade versus a neutral shade. And I normally go for like a neutral bronzer, but I'm thinking this one is probably a better fit for me. So I've only had this for a little while, but so far I'm really loving it. It kind of reminds me of the Patrick Ta, sorry about that. It kind of reminds me of the Patrick Ta She's Sculpted, but I feel like the Dior has a little bit more pigment, it's a little bit darker, and it's a little bit warmer. I'll talk about this really briefly. I feel like that one's been talked about so much, but I'm using the Hakuhodo G6530. It's been my current favorite bronzer brush, and I feel like this does a better job at like warming up your complexion versus the Patrick Ta. I feel like it's more of a sculpting product. And I was worried this would be a little bit too dark, but it's definitely not. So if you have a medium complexion, or I think even if you have a light complexion, this shade will work really nice for you. And I'm really enjoying it so far. And I thought I would. I really like pretty much anything Dior makes in powder form. I usually fall in love with. And it smells nice. It smells like their highlighters. So I hope you can see. I already had the Patrick Ta cream bronzer on, or cream contour. So hopefully you can see that. So so far I'm really liking this. I'll briefly go over the Patrick Ta She's Sculpted. Both of these products are amazing. I'm a big fan of his powder products as well. And this shade, this cream shade, is amazing. And just as a little bonus, this is not something I feel like I hear about a lot on YouTube, mainly because it's kind of hard to get here in the US, but that is the Suku blush, the melting blush formula, and I have 2 of these, and my favorite is this one. Is called Oku Hibiki, and it's their kind of mauvey pink shade, and this blush is so beautiful. I know I've raved about Suku blush products before, and I think this one is my favorite. So I'll put it on again with this. This formula is more pigmented than the Pure Color blush formula, at least the shades that I have. And this is just such a me shade. You know, I love these mauvey, pinky, kind of rosy blush shades. And these go on just like how the name suggests. It just like melts into your skin, and it does provide a pretty decent amount of pigment. So, you know, if you have a deeper complexion, I think this shade will work really well for you. I can't say the same about the Pure Color blushes. Those are a lot more subtle. Those are more appropriate for fair to light complexions. I can get it to show up on me, but just barely. So I think this one is more universal. You don't need as much with this, and this is probably my top 2, top 3 favorite blush formulas. And I don't like talking too much about Suku because I think you definitely have to go through like a UK or a Japanese retailer to get this. But I absolutely love that product. So I did want to share it with you guys really briefly. So just I'll just give you guys, in case I forgot to give you guys my recommendation. So the Charlotte Tilbury concealer, I personally don't recommend that if you have similar needs as me. Actually, I don't recommend that if you can get like the Dior or the Armani. I think no matter what, you'll like those better. And so the Dior Backstage concealer, big thumbs up. The Chantecaille powder, that's kind of a toss-up. It's not a bad product, but I think you could get a similar result with a less expensive product. Now the By Terry Hydra powder, that's a big thumbs up for me. I really, really like that, and I think it's very universal. Unless you have oily skin, it might not provide enough of a setting. It might not set well enough, but if you have like normal to dry skin, I think that By Terry powder is amazing. And the Nars Light-Reflecting foundation, for me personally, it's a no. But if you have younger skin and you're looking for a little bit of a lighter coverage, I think that one will be really good for you. And the Dior Backstage bronzer, for me, that's a huge thumbs up. I'm just really, really in love with that product. And the same for the Patrick Ta She's Sculpted bronzer duo. Is it a cream contour and powder bronzer duo? And this is a good value because you're getting 2 products and you get a pretty decent amount. You get really nice packaging, and for the price, I think this is probably for a product with this level of quality, I think this is probably the way to go. So I know this was out of stock for a long time, but I believe it's now available, and I highly, highly recommend this one. All right, so that's gonna do it for today. I do have a few brush videos coming up. This past week, I got really behind, and I was trying to get more content up, but going forward, I think I have enough content ideas to be getting out 2 videos a week. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.